The global tinted lip balm market is valued at $1.2 billion. And that number, my friends, is increasing year over year. And with every single brand launching a tinted lip balm left and right, today we're gonna be reviewing and ranking the top 10 most viral tinted lip balms for brown skin. And as usual, I work for you guys, not these guys. This is a no BS review, so let's get into it. Welcome, my name is Monica Ravi-Conway, in case you're new here. Also, my last video, I realized I accidentally said Ravi-Chandran instead of Ravi-Conway, but your girl is married. She's married, so it's Ravi-Conway now. But the way this video is gonna be structured is I'm going to be in-depth reviewing the top 10 most viral, most overhyped lip balms on the market. And I'm gonna be giving it a rating for stickiness, opacity, scent, wear time, and moisturization. And we're gonna be looking at tinted lip balms today because not a lot of people know this, but sometimes the formula for these lip balms will change the moment you add iron oxides and pigment into it because iron oxides is a powder. And as a brown girl with slightly ashy and two-toned lips, I'm someone who prefers a little bit more pigment than usual, a non-sticky lip balm. I don't mind the scent nor the flavor, but if it's too overpowering, I don't love it. I also want something to wear decently well. Your lip balm should wear okay? It's not a liquid lipstick, but it should have a decent amount of wear time. This is also not gonna be in any particular order, and we're gonna do the ranking as we go. So that being said, stop yapping so we can get into it. The first lip balm that we have here are these viral Rhode Peptide lip balms. For the sake of my own lips, I'm only gonna show you guys a few of my favorite shades from the collection. First, we have the shade Guava Spritz. It's gritty. I heard she fixed the formulations later, but no offense. When you're paying like $25 for a lip balm, your lip balm should not go gritty, and I should not have to boil my lip balm like boiled chicken. It barely even shows up on my lip tone, so if you have any lip shade darker than me, this doesn't even show up on you. The next shade that we're gonna try is the shade Espresso, and this is supposed to be a really deep brown shade. Maybe if you have really fair skin, this shade's gonna work for you, but for me, it's just giving clear lip balm. Finally, my favorite shade of this collection is Raspberry Jelly, which is like a really pretty berry shade, but again, pigment is lacking. I think what's funny is of all the shades that I have here, this is the only one that I would say has a sufficient amount of pigment. The main key ingredient for the hydration is the shea butter, and it also has a few different peptides that I'm reading over here, which is what kind of gives it that nice like cushiony feel that also helps with the hydration. So now for the rankings. So for moisturizing, I would give it a 4 out of 5. This is a pretty moisturizing lip balm. When I wear this, it actually does help my lips over time. For stickiness, it's pretty cushiony, but I wouldn't say it's very sticky. Like when I go like this, it doesn't gum up, and to me, that's how I know if a lip balm or a lip gloss is super sticky. Don't apply too much of this because it can get gummy. For the stickiness ranking, I would give it a 4 out of 5, 4 being not sticky, if that makes sense. For scent, it is fragrance free, and for opacity, I give it a 2 out of 5 because this is the most pigmented shade. Most of the other shades are really, really sheer. And for wear time, I do find this lip balm formula to actually last pretty well because it kind of has a little bit of cushion to it. It's also very glossy, as you could see, and that cushion is actually what helps with wear time. I would say for wear time, I give it about a 3 out of 5. And for the shade range ranking, I feel like the Rhode shade range has a couple unique shades now. I haven't tried any of their more recent shades, so I give the shade range a 3 out of 5. I feel like there are a couple unique shades, but the darker shades are mostly just like brown and like a darker brown. Overall, I put this at a 9. I don't know, 9 or 10. I may move around the rankings throughout this video, but for now, I'm gonna put it at a 9. Next lip balm we have here is the extremely viral Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm, the lip balm that started the lip balm craze. I actually think I own every single Summer Fridays lip balm, and when this first came out, I actually really freaking liked these. The two shades that I used to reach for over and over were shades Cherry, which is like a really pretty deeper red shade. And as you can see, even from the Rhode lip balms, these have a little bit more pigment. Granted, not all shades have the same amount of pigment. These two shades, extremely different. These two shades, extremely different. I would argue this shade and Brown Sugar shade are the only two shades that I would recommend recommend if you have darker skin and want the lip balm to show up on your lips. Main ingredients for this one are also shea butter and maru seed butter. So they are supposed to be intensely hydrating. So I would say this is not the most like glossy lip balm. I would argue this is a very traditional lip balm feel. And this also retails for around $25, but the shade Brown Sugar is a really pretty like neutral everyday shade. This is the shade that I used to wear every day when it first came out. Now for the evaluation and the rankings. From a moisturizing perspective, I give it a 5 out of 5. If you have really dry, crusty butthole lips like me, this is a 5 out of 5. And from a stickiness perspective, it's actually very unsticky because I feel like this is more of a balm formula. So I would also give this a 5 out of 5, being 5 for not sticky. For opacity, I give it a 3 out of 5, similar to Rhode, because I don't know, most of the shades look like this outside of cherry, I'm realizing. But for wear time, I give it a 1 out of 5. And that's actually a big reason why I stopped wearing it, because I had to keep freaking reapplying this after every sip of water. The scent is on the little bit of a stronger side, so if you get headaches really easily with the fragrance, I would pass on this one. From a shade range perspective though, I give it a 2 out of 5, because Summer Fridays, I feel like kind of releases the same shades over and over again. Overall, I don't think this lip balm is bad. I just wouldn't say that it's my favorite anymore, and I put it at a 6. Next we have, these are the Cocokind Ceramide Lip Blur Balms. They come in 4 different shades. It retails for only $12. So this is one of the most affordable lip balms on the market. I'll be honest, I wear these a lot. And when I first reviewed these, I kind of had mixed feelings about the formula. So this first shade is Be Bold. It's a really pretty berry shade. It looks really similar to the berry shade that I actually tried from Rhode, but I would say it's a little bit more pigmented. A lot of people always ask me what's on my lips, and it's usually this. And this is my second favorite shade. It's like a deep warm brown. It's the shade BU. This one's unique ingredients are ceramide, NP, and also has Peptide and glycerin, making it super hydrating. And of all the lip balms that I've tried so far, this is the most pigmented. Because it's so pigmented, you actually have to like make sure that you put it on properly and like rub it around. Otherwise, it can go on a little bit patchy, but I don't mind that because look, the color is really pretty. It matches my fit. Okay, so now for the actual evaluation. From a moisturizing perspective, it's really, really good. I give it a 5 out of 5. This has ceramides, this has peptides. I actually used this every single day when I was in Las Vegas in the summer heat, and it really, really helped my lips. This is one of my favorite formulas and like shades for like a lip balm. But that being said, because it's a slightly thicker formula, it does make it a hair more sticky than usual, so I give the stickiness factor a 3. And from an opacity perspective, I give it like a 3.5 out of 5. And that's because not all the shades have the same amount of pigment. This is the most pigmented. This is the second to most pigmented. This is clear, of course. And then this pink one like doesn't show up on me. It's also clear. I'm hoping if Cocokind launches more shades, they will have this level of pigmentation. Like, compare this to the Rhode and the Summer Fridays, right? From a wear time perspective, I give it a 5 out of 5. This is one of the best wear times that I personally get with a lip balm because, again, of that cushiony feel, and I don't mind if it's slightly sticky if it wears better for me. And I'm mentioning this because some people might have a lower tolerance for stick. Also, it's fragrance free, so it's made for sensitive skin. Cocokind's entire mission is to make skincare and beauty products for the sensitive skin girlies like me. For shade range perspective, I give this a 1. Because come on y'all, these are the 4 shades that you have, and I told the team that I really want to see more shades because how many brown and berry lip balms do you really need? Every brand here has a brown or berry lip balm and it's really, really boring. I get why they did it based on data and fan favorites, but if you're gonna be part of dupe culture, I would really appreciate if you would at least like, I don't know, do something a little different. Come on, is that too hard to ask for? But with that being said, because of the formula and how pigmented some of the shades are, I give it this a 3. And this would actually go higher up on my list if they came out with more shades. The next brand we have here is the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balms. And these retail for $9 freaking and come in 6 different shades, which is pretty good. These are the 2 shades that I reach for from this collection. They're somewhat unique. This is the shade Yummy Gummy. It's like a really pretty purpley pink shade because a lot of brands tend to make berries. e.l.f. made a really pretty purpley pink. And this is to me somewhat of a unique shade shade. One thing I will note is this fragrance is up the roof. It is hitting my nose immediately. Main ingredients for this one are 2% shea butter, 5% mango butter, and 3% cocoa butter, and it also has hyaluronic acid. So a lot of ingredients to help lock the moisture in while also keeping your lips nice and juicy and hydrated. My second favorite shade is Java Chip. This I would argue is like a gray, brown, almost black. Very unique shade, not your average brown lip balm. This one kind of tints your lips a little bit like deeper, kind of cooler. It looks really sexy, especially worn with a black lip liner. But now for the evaluations from a moisturizing perspective. Even though it has all these really beautiful ingredients, I don't find this lip balm that moisturizing. When I tried this over a long period of time, it didn't keep my lips juicy, it didn't keep my lips hydrated, it was just okay. So I give the moisturizing factor a 3. This to me feels a little bit more like a traditional lip oil. Because of that, it's not sticky at all. It's a little bit more sticky than Summer Fridays, but less sticky than Cocokind, so I give it a 4 out of 5 for stickiness. From an opacity perspective, I give the opacity a 3 out of 5 because it's around a similar Summer Fridays opacity. Like you saw that shade, it was just enough to change my lip tone, but if you've got two-tone lips or brown lips, this might not show up on you like at all. But from a shade range perspective, I actually give the shade range a 5 out of 5. e.l.f. really did their thing, especially for $9 coming out with some unique shade. That's all I'm asking for, okay? I don't want 50 brown lip balms. I'm so bored of it. And as I mentioned earlier, it is flavored and scented. It's pretty strongly flavored and scented, so if you are sensitive to that, I would 100% skip this one. And for wear time for these, I would say because they're so thin and they're almost like a lip oil, these don't wear very well. I give it a wear time of a 2 out of 5. These like immediately slip off your lip. Overall in my ranking, I give this a 5. I don't think these are the worst lip balms on the market, but they're definitely not my favorite. Next one that I have here are Laneige Glaze Craze Tinted Lip Serums. See, Laneige already is like the queen or king of lip masks and lip balms. So they came out with a tinted lip serum, and this in my opinion is very unique. It retails for $22 and comes in 7 different shades. My 2 favorite shades that I really like from this collection are Cinnamon Sugar and Chocolate Frosting. Cinnamon Sugar is like a really pretty like mauve-y, pinky shade, and Chocolate Frosting is a really pretty like warm chocolate brown shade. It literally tastes and smells like a decadent chocolate cake. And also what makes this really unique, as you just saw, is the applicator. This has a really fun, squishy, ooey gooey applicator. Kind of looks like a donut hole. Some people have called it some inappropriate lip balm names. So this definitely makes the application really fun. It feels really nice and cushiony. But because the applicator is so damn big, if you have really thin lips, it might be really messy to apply it with. Now for the evaluation. I would say this is an average amount of moisturizing. I think the main moisturizing key ingredient here is polyglutamic acid, but there aren't that many ingredients that really help block like the moisture from like evaporating. So therefore, I do feel like over time, my lips dry out a little bit more compared to like some of the other lip balms on the market. From a moisturizing perspective, I give it a 3 out of 5, but because of that, the stickiness is really low. Like this is not sticky at all. So I give it a 5 out of 5, meaning it's very little stickiness. From an opacity perspective, I give it a 3. It's not the most pigmented, it's not the least pigmented, it's just okay. And because there's not that much cushion either, that's why the wear time, I would say I don't get that much wear on this. So this also, just like e.l.f., slips off my face. So I give the wear time a 2 out of 5. Finally, from a shade range perspective, I give it a 4 out of 5, which is the same rating that I had given it when I had done my No BS review on YouTube Shorts. I think the shade range is pretty good. I just wish that they had a few more deeper shades. I don't know, I feel like there's only 2 or 3 shades that I would really recommend if you have like brown lips or have brown skin. It is fragranced, but it's not as fragranced as e.l.f. These flavors are more like gourmand flavors. So they're very like edible flavors. Like think your chocolate, think your desserts, think your like food. So every time I put these on my damn lips, I want to eat them. Now for the rating. I would say I like these. I do reach for these more than a lot of the other ones. I would give it 4. I might change my rating later depending on the lip balms I have left. Now, let's talk about the NYX Cosmetics Smushy Matte Lip Balm. These come in 10 or 11 different shades and retail for under $10. So these are supposed to be hydrating, soft matte lip balms. It's supposed to give you like cloud-like pillow soft lips. They're made in Korea, so very much like a Korean lip velvet, but they've just marketed it as a matte lip balm. First of all, I find these really fucking hard to apply. Maybe it's just the applicator, or I don't know what it is. I just wrangled with it for like 5 minutes and I think it's somewhat even, but I still think it's like slightly patchy, like around here, if you see that. Like, I like the idea of it. It's supposed to be a blurring, soft matte, not crusty lip balm. The problem is that it's made of silicones and eventually the silicones dry down and then comes the wrinkly butthole lips. This is a sped up, no cut version of me trying to put this darkest shade on. I thought this would be my favorite shade because it's like a deep, warm brown shade, which is the shade that I usually wear is this shade, but look how freaking long this is taking me to apply. This is so annoying and I'm still wrangling it as I'm voicing it over right now. So this is the best like smoothness I'm gonna get out of this, and do you see that? Do you? I don't want to hear it in the comments that I should exfoliate my lips. I have matte products that don't do this. For the ranking. I'm kidding. Okay, for moisturizing, it gets a 1. Wrinkly butthole lip season. As it wears, it starts to dry, which gets drier and drier and drier. That's again because of the multiple silicones. It also has some drying agents in there because that's how you get that matte feel. A lip balm is supposed to be hydrating, but a matte lip balm is kind of like the lip balm anarchist in my opinion. But that being said, it's not sticky. It gets a 5 out of 5 for not stickiness. And the opacity is pretty pigmented. I give the opacity a 4 out of 5 because I have lines on my lips. It just doesn't look good. It looks worse over time, which brings me to wear time, which I would say these are actually pretty long wearing because they are a matte lip balm. So I do get a decent amount of wear out of it, but because they don't dry down, it doesn't wear the longest for me. So I give the wear a 3. But shade range, the shade range, y'all, they came out with a good ass shade range. NYX comes out with some of the best lip product shade ranges on the market. Shade range gets a 5 out of 5. Wholeheartedly. Pretty fragranced. I wouldn't say it's the most fragranced. The question is, do I hate these more than I hate Rhode? No, I give it an 8, but I appreciate NYX's effort for trying to be different. The next one we have here are the Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatments. And these come in, I would say 5 different shades because technically it's 10, but 5 of them are just regular pigmented and the other 5 are like the same shades, but with shimmer in it. These retail for $23, so definitely more on the expensive side of the lip balms. This is my favorite shade in Lingonberry Jam. I have like 5 of these. I think this one might be limited edition. This one also has a few different butters and seed oils and peptides, which are really nice, but it is thicker. Look at this. If you put too much on, this will get goopy as hell. With that being said, let's get into the evaluations of this. So from a moisturizing factor, I give this, well, I give it a 4 out of 5. Because it's a little bit of a thicker formula, it's better at giving like a nice protective barrier against external factors. As you saw from a stickiness, I give it a 3. It is a slightly stickier formula. From an opacity standpoint, I give this like a 2.5 out of 5. But I like this because of the wear and the formula. So usually when I wear this, I will wear it at night before I go to bed. I will wear it with lip liner in order to help it boost it with pigment. This is not the most pigmented lip balm, but it's one of my most favorite formulas. So that being said, with a wear time, it gets a 5 out of 5. This actually wears better for me than any of the lip balms that I kind of have here outside of my number 1. And from a shade range perspective, I give it a 4 out of 5. I think there could be a few more fun shades. And finally, it is fragrance and it also tastes a little sweet. I've decided to change my ratings because I'm doing the ratings in real time. I put this at number 4, Laneige at number 5, e.l.f. at number 6, and Summer Fridays at number 7. The next one we have here, which is so viral, dare I say this was the original, this is Glossier Balm Dot Com. She retails for $16 and has a lot of shades at this point. I'm not gonna lie, I don't reach for these, so I don't have a favorite shade, but I think the one shade that is unique is the shade Berry Balm. This is like a cool muted purple shade. I might need to take this off my lips immediately because I think she's expired. She's a little stanky. Oh no. But this shade is really pretty. It's also pretty unique shade, but from a formula perspective and from a texture perspective, this is not my favorite. And for a while, like when this first released, they didn't have that many shades in this. And I remember going online trying to buy this and they didn't have any shades that I thought would work for the brown girlies or my skin tone. So I never bought this until recently. And I actually think Glossier has some pretty solid lip products, but this to me is just not it. So I will quickly cut to the ranking. From a moisturizing perspective, I give this a 2. This to me is freaking Vaseline because it uses petrolatum and castor seed oil as their main ingredients, as the barrier ingredients. And that's literally, guys, that's just Vaseline at that point. Just buy Vaseline. It's not even that much tinted. So if you want a hack, just put a little bit of like lipstick on and a little bit of Vaseline, and that's your Balm.com. There's no cushion at all. That means there's no stickiness. So this is not sticky. It's very like slippery, if that makes sense. So it gets a 5 for no stickiness, and for opacity it gets a 3. It's the average opacity. Wear time, it gets like a 2 because it has a similar to wear time to Vaseline, but I'd rather be paying $4 for Vaseline than $16 for fancy Vaseline, if that makes sense. Shade range now gets a 5 out of 5, but if I had rated this when this first came out, it probably would have gotten a 1 or 2. I think Glossier has made a lot of moves to be more inclusive and to have shades for the brown and black girlies. These are fragranced. I mean, I don't know what it is. Every time I eat this, I hate the way it tastes. It tastes really gross. Overall, I think you know what's going at number 10. If you even look at the ingredients, it proves my point that this is tinted Vaseline. I wish Glossier would reformulate to keep up with the times. These are the Topicals Slick Salve Lip Balms. They technically only have 3 shades, but they retail for $16. But this orange shade looks very unique. I have not seen a shade like this before. So we're gonna try all 3 on today, and y'all, this came as a pack for $34 for all 3 of these. So that's a really good price point. It is a Black-owned brand, and I love my BIPOC founded brands, but I'm never gonna be impartial just because of that. So the first shade we're gonna try is Pomegranate. And did y'all see the campaign that they ran for Palestine with this lip balm? I believe some amount of proceeds go to Palestine. Loved that ad, and I loved what they're doing. So that's another reason I wanted to include in this roundup. So she's thick. She's thick. I will give it that. This is one of the thickest formulas that I've tried here, which means I'm probably gonna get really good wear. Look at that pigment. It's so pretty. I'm really excited to try this shade. So I don't know if the intention of this shade is to help neutralize pigmented or brown lips, but if you are someone with two-tone lips, I would buy this shade. It looks really pretty. It's a slight like pumpkin. I would almost say this is a pumpkin shade, and this formula is also really nice. It is a thicker formula because it has rice bran wax, ceramides, hyaluronic acid, glycerin, all like lip nourishing ingredients. The final shade that I have here is Acai. Because it's a thicker consistency, it does make it a little bit harder to put on. So I wouldn't say this is like the best purse lippy, because I could definitely see myself struggling a little bit trying to put it on like in a car ride or whatever it is, just because it is a thicker formula. So with that being said, let's do the evaluations right now. From a moisturizing perspective, I'm gonna evaluate it based off the clear. This was pretty moisturizing, but it wasn't the most moisturizing. So I give this, on a hydrating perspective, a 4 out of 5. It has really good ingredients, but I feel like the wax almost helps dries it out a little bit, but it also has a nice gloss. This is such a pretty, it's a pretty shade. But from a stickiness perspective, it gets a 2. This is the most sticky formula of everything that I've tried. Because the stickiness is pretty high, the wear time, I can guarantee you is gonna be really good. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 wear time. And from an opacity perspective, it's a 4 out of 5. And a shade range perspective, even though there's only 3 shades, I also give it a 4 out of 5 because the shades are unique and are specifically made most likely for the brown and the black girlies. Like, I totally see the brown and the black girlies wearing all 3 of these shades. In fact, I see a variety of skin tones able to wear all 3 of these shades, which is pretty rare. The fragrance is, it's manageable. I am gonna change the rating. I wasn't sure where to put this at first, but now after trying all of them, I know where to exactly put this. I put this at number 3. I feel like I would like it more than the Ula Henriksen. So I'm gonna move Cocokind to number 2, and then I'm gonna put this at number 3. Finally, my favorite lip balm of all time. I probably have one upstairs in every purse. The Eadem Chouchou lip balms. So these have 8 different shades and retails for $24. It's probably one of the most unique and wearable lip balms on the market. I've put so many people on these lip balms. The 2 shades that I reach for almost every single day are their new limited edition shade, Pan Au Chocolate. This is like a really pretty, almost like medium mid-tone warm brown terracotta-y shade, and this one has really pretty like gold flicks in it. It's so pretty. I get so many compliments whenever I wear this shade. This also has some really hydrating ingredients like shea butter and different peptides, but this also has hibiscus enzymes and lactic acid, which is great for a slight amount of exfoliation. And this has healed my lips over time because I wear this one almost every day as a fellow dry lip girly. And the next shade that I reach for almost every single day is Fig Sauce. This is almost like a nudie sort of pink shade. Every time I put this on, I feel like a bad bitch. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like between the metal applicator and the experience of putting this on, and the shade range is just very wearable. I'm gonna shut up and evaluate it. I'm sorry. I already gave it a ranking of number 1 because it's super moisturizing, really hydrating, but it's not sticky. But if you put too much on, you will get a little bit of that tack, but because you have that cushion is what gives it a really good wear time. So I would say it gets a 4 out of 5 for sticky. From an opacity perspective, it's a 4. This has pretty good pigment. If you have two-tone lips, brown lips, I always put the two-tone lip girlies on this one. Wear time gets a 4 out of 5. This one also wears pretty well. I would say actually wear time, it's a 3.5 out of 5. I get a better wear with the Cocokind. The shade range is a 5 out of 5. I would give it a 6 out of 5 for shade range because everyone is gonna find a shade here. Whether you have really fair skin or really deep skin, you're gonna find a shade, and that to me is what gives it a good shade range because it doesn't lean too bright, it doesn't lean too dark, it's perfectly distributed. And a lot of people can find their favorite shade in this. Finally, this is slightly fragrance, but it's got a very elegant fragrance. I consider this a very sophisticated lip balm. Like if you wanna feel like a grown-ass woman, this is a lip balm to buy. And of course, the luxurious metal applicator just gives the, it just feels so nice putting this on. Like I could do this all day. It feels so nice. I love it. I can't promise you anything, but this is a good ass lip balm. This is the official ranking of my lip balm ranking series along with all of the individual rankings that I have given it. This was really fun. But now also my lips fucking hurt. So let me know if you guys want any other sort of like lip category videos on YouTube here, because this is really fun. And of course, all of these lip balms and the shades I use will be linked down in the description below. For any of my girlies who are interested in even more lip combos, I literally have an entire video on drugstore lip combos for brown skin. Every single shade that I will put right here for you guys to go click on and watch next. And I will see you guys next time, or hopefully in 5 seconds if you tap on this video.